Hi and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about what are belief systems, because for a lot of people, it's a concept that is a little bit blurry in our mind. So we are going to take the example of computer versus brain because it works similarly, even though the computer is limited by its own processor and the brain is unlimited. I won't go into details why it is unlimited, but this is really the big difference. But it is working similarly. So imagine a belief system. It's like a program. Okay, so when you buy a new computer, a brand new computer, the last one that came out in the market, it has all the top-notch adds up. You open the box, it's all brand new. Depending on what you want to create, you will install different programs. Let's say you love video games, you will install programs of video games. You love writing, you will install programs to write, and so on and so on. A baby, when it's born, it is the same. It's brand new. It has all this ability to learn any new programs. The minute you are born, a baby will start learning to be able to function in its environment. It will learn how to behave with mom that is feeding, that is providing safety, that is providing love, dad, if it's around, or the other partner. And then as the baby will grow, it will widen to the community, friends, school, and so on and so on. So every time a child is introduced to something new, there is a new program that is downloaded. Here is the difference between a computer and a human. A computer is just processing data. A human is way more complex because there are emotions that are taken into account. And emotions are really what creates the whole problem, but also what creates who we are, and we are able to feel different sensations that a computer cannot. So let's say when you were born and your mom was too busy because she had 2 or 3 of your siblings already to take care of, you've learned very quickly to provide for yourself. You've learned to become independent very quickly because mom didn't have the time. So this is one first program. You've learned to be independent. So you learn to be independent. But then depending on how you took the idea of being independent, what kind of emotion you attach to that will dictate a lot of your future experiences later in life. Let's say you made unconsciously the decision that you need to be independent to survive, and that creates unconsciously sadness and frustration. Well, this is what happens. You create underneath sadness, frustration, versus someone else that had a similar upbringing. It had to be independent, but instead of feeling sadness, just decided that, well, actually, it's great to be independent because it gives me freedom, exploration, which create joy. Now, those are 2 examples, but there are infinite examples, all right? We are all very different, and every single human being is unique because our own story is unique. Even though we have siblings and we've been raised in the same house, it doesn't mean that we will react the same way as our siblings, because we are going to process the information, the program, in a different way. And then after, obviously, we'll have new experiences that will be different from our brothers and sisters. Now, let's go 30, 40 years, jump in the future. Your brain has now lots of programs. And those programs have attached some emotions. So when those emotions are negative, this is where the problem happens. In quantum physics, everything is vibration. Every color has a vibration. The board has its own vibration. I have my own vibration, which will create different colors, different texture. So the whole world is created of vibration that will create the atoms in a certain way that will create shapes and colors in a very simple way. Okay, I'm not a scientist, so if there is someone scientist here, I'm sorry if I didn't explain it well, but I really simplify it. Words, emotions are also vibrations. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Emoto work, but he's been freezing some water, and when he was looking into the microscope, he realized that depending on the emotion that was written underneath, the structure of the ice was changing. There were beautiful shapes when it was love, faith, and all elevated emotions, but when it was hatred and jealousy and all those words, it was misshaped. So that is so powerful, just to show how water, molecule of water, will interact just with the power of one word that has an emotion behind it. Just to remind you, we are made of 60% of water in our body. Even our bones have water. So imagine the impact that our thoughts and emotions have within our body. So if for 30, 40, 50 years, we've been putting on programs with negative emotions, what do you think happens there? Well, at some stage, this is when you will create burnout, panic attacks, like big anxiety, cancer, diseases. The body will react to what we have put since the beginning of our childhood. I don't know if you understand that. This is extremely powerful to understand. Every single program that you have created based on an emotion will have an impact on your life every single day. But the good news there is that those programs can be changed. Those belief systems can be changed. But the longer we wait in life, in other words, the older we are, the hardest it is. Because those programs became unconscious. Apparently, by the age of 35, 95% of what we're doing in life is a habit. And a habit is something that is unconscious. So the work that needs to be done is to bring from the unconscious mind to the conscious mind the programs that are hidden, and behind those programs understand what kind of emotions are attached to them. So once and that is the beauty, once this becomes conscious in our mind, it's like the emotional charge disappears. There is no emotions anymore. And when there are no more emotions, it only is a program. How to explain that? It's like in a book. When you read a book, you are caught into the character and you feel for the character and you feel the emotions of the character. A good book. You are into the story. So it's like you become part of the story and you can feel that. So it has like a dimension. But as soon as you close the book and you stop thinking about it and you put it back on the shelf, it is meaningless. It's only words. It's only lines that have been written on a piece of paper. It's nothing else. Well, it's exactly what happens. As soon as we are releasing the emotional charge in a program or belief system, it disappears completely. And this is what I love doing. Going back into the origin of our program, finding those emotions, releasing them, and then what happens is that we have less and less emotions, or the negative ones. And we will replace, and that's the thing, we will replace them with empowering thought. Instead of thinking that I need a partner to be loved because I miss the love from my mom. Well, instead it's like, well, you know what? I am love. I can love myself enough. And when we start thinking that way, changing that way, not only we are changing ourselves, but we are also attracting a completely new vibration around us, because we are releasing that. It will change everything around us, because we, like, listen to that, we are a giant antenna. I know it's weird to think about it, but we are a giant antenna. We are constantly emitting some thoughts, some emotions, and we are constantly receiving the other thoughts and emotions. But because we are only emitting and transmitting within a certain range of frequency, we will attract only the same range of frequency. In other words, if we feel that we are lonely and that we don't deserve to be loved, and we have negative thought and we are a bad person, we will attract everything around us to remind us those thoughts. So imagine after 30, 40, 50 years, what it can do in the brain. We become crazy. But when we change that, because we can, our brain is neuroplastic. It can change all the time. We can change those neural pathways every single day. And we are. But the problem is that we are reinforcing the unconscious program that we have created a long time ago. But when it becomes conscious, when we become conscious that we want to change those old programs, that we don't want them anymore because they don't serve us anymore, we release this emotion, we release them, then we can create new. I don't have another color, yeah, the blue one. We can create new empowered beliefs, programs, same, with empowering emotions. Can you see that? Can you see the potential? So instead of being, I'm a bad person, or I'm jealous, or I need love, it's like, I am love, and I attract the perfect partner that I wish to have in my life. I attract the perfect job that I always dreamed about, but I was scared because I thought I was not able to have this perfect job, or I was not worthy to have this job, and so on and so on. We can reverse everything. You are that powerful. And you can make the change right now. You can make the decision. It's only you, no one else can make the decision for yourself to change those programs. And at the beginning, especially when the oldest we are, the hardest it is. But when we start doing it is a bit daunting, because we are going into the unknown. It's like deconstructing your mind that you've had for so many years. It's like doing a reboot in the computer. You're losing all the programs and you have no idea what's going to happen. And that is very scary for a lot of people, because we are entering into the unknown, and the mind doesn't like the unknown. It's scared, really scared of the unknown, because it has this inner program of self-preservation. Even though I'm unhappy in my life and I hate the person that I am, or the people I have around me, I prefer staying in this pain and in this misery, because if I lose control of what I know, what will happen to me? Will I die? And that is the ultimate issue for a lot of people, to start doing the work. But man, when you start doing the work, life is incredible on the other side. You know, it's like this cow trying to eat the grass on the other side. Well, It is so good on the other side, I guarantee. But the beginning, the first step is really hard because you need to deconstruct your old programs and decide who you want to become. But when you make this step, when you make this decision, you will reconnect to your intuition and to your own guidance that will show you in a myriad of different ways how to change to the person that you want to become. And only you will have the answers. Other people that you will meet, other techniques that you will do will help you to go on track. But the only person that can change you and know who you want to become is yourself. This is a work of self-empowerment. And when we do this work, I guarantee you 100% that your life will change for the better. You will attract what you always dreamed about, what you always wanted. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, please put in comments, subscribe the button, and you can also go on my website and discover the hypnotherapy programs that I'm doing for people to release those old programs and create the new you. Have a good day. Bye.